Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you our budget for January 2021. If you've missed it, I've already shared the budget for the entire year. So what we're going to do, what's going to be a little bit different from the yearly budget, is we're actually going to see the month broken down, but we're going to show every single paycheck. So even though we have a monthly amount, we still want to see how the cash is flowing through every paycheck. And this helps us to make sure we have money in the bank before bills are due, and it helps us to avoid, overdraft fees and things like that. So it's kind of how we project and plan out ahead. If you're interested, then let's jump on the Excel sheet. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jackie. This is a budget template that I've created. It's kind of evolved over the years. If you're interested in purchasing it, I do have it for sale on Etsy. The link is in the description below. So we're going to go through the budget a little quick. It's already the middle of the month, so you're going to see some different colors on my template, and I like to color code things as things are happening. So today is actually January 15th, so we just received our third paycheck of the month. My husband and I both get paid on Fridays, so January is a nice month because we actually have 5 paychecks because we have 5 Fridays. The way my budget template is set up, if you saw my yearly budget, you're going to kind of notice it's similar. So we basically have the same categories. Our sources are the same over here. What's different, instead of only having the months of the year, is we have our monthly budget as a whole, and then we have every single paycheck. So if you only get paid maybe every other Thursday or something like that, then you would only need to use 2 of these columns, and you would just zero out the rest of these. Same thing, maybe you only get paid once a month, then you only need to use 1 of the columns. For us, again, we get paid every single Friday, so for January we have each Friday's paychecks here, and then the actual amount spent. So as the month goes on, we plug in the actual numbers. So this budget amount at the beginning of the month, this is just our plan. This is what we would like to do. And if things change, maybe you make a little bit extra money, maybe you made less money, then you change your budget in the income section according to that. Also, as you start spending money, this is a great way because now you're going to start tracking what you actually spent. And then at the end of the month, before you budget the next month out, you can compare what you budgeted versus what you actually received and spent, and hopefully it will help you to start making different choices for future months. Also, on the side of the budget here, I do have the month. I do have a percents total, so if you are interested in saying, okay, how much am I actually saving, how much am I paying myself, you could see that. Or you could say, what percentage am I using on my rent or my mortgage, then you could also see that as well. Then we have these columns here. These are basically how I track my money in the bank or in different accounts. So I have a few different savings and checking account through my bank. So our income, this is actually a checking account. So this is where all of our direct deposit goes from our employer. So when Ricky and I get paid, it goes into our income checking account. From there, I transfer the money either into our savings account or our necessities checking account based on what we have going on for that particular week. So our necessities checking account, this is where the money comes out of. So some of our bills are set up on auto pay, like our mortgage and our truck payment and our car payment, things like that. So this is the account it would come out of. Also, if I make our credit card payment, which we have a lot of bills on our credit card so we can earn cash back. If I make that payment, it comes out of this necessities checking account. Our emergency fund, this is what it is. It's the emergency fund. So as I scroll down, you'll see dollar amounts lined up with their categories. So for instance, we just got paid, so we have $100 for groceries put aside. We have $100 for personal care. We have $65 because mine and Ricky's cell phone bill is coming out in a couple days. We have $98 for gas. We have some random money for that Ricky and the girls spent. So that's what's in the necessities account right now. We have $397 in the necessities account, ready to pay the Discover card or for if a bill for this week is due. Our emergency fund, again, we have lined up. So we have technically 1 month worth of expenses currently in our emergency fund. So you'll just see those down here. Once we pay off our debt, we will be increasing this. For now, we basically have 1 month of expenses saved up in the emergency fund, and now we can focus on paying off debt. If you're following Dave Ramsey's plan, he just says put $1,000 to start, and if you're really low income, put $500 to start. I feel comfortable having a full month worth of our actual expenses, so that way, you know, if we did lose the job, that gives us a month to find a new job, or it gives us a month to file unemployment, or whatever that might be, so it covers the actual bills. So for us, that's actually $2,940 is 1 month worth of expenses for us. This next column is our investments. So this is not at our bank, it's just through different firms. So I actually have a Robinhood account. Ricky has his 401k. I have my Roth 401k and my Roth IRA. So this is just tracking what our balances are in those accounts. Our savings, this is what I call our like sinking funds. So as we're saving up for bigger purchases, the money will be in there. In addition, we're a few weeks ahead on some of our bill money, so it sits in savings until the week it's due, and then I put it in the necessities account so it can come out of there. So scrolling on down, so we already have February's mortgage payment put aside. We already have February's electric bill money put aside. We have the truck payment put aside. We have insurance put aside. Both of our kids currently have $800, and this is from their stimulus checks that we did receive. We have $1,000 so far. We want to pay $2,000 off on the truck. We have $1,000 currently in savings ready for us to make an extra debt payoff for that. And then we have $1,300 towards our December vacation. We still need to add about $2,000 to that. So we had about $5,600 in this sinking fund savings account, or in our savings account. And again, money's moving in and out of this depending on the week. The other account we have at the bank is our girls. This is just their fund. So if they have money that they're able to spend because they earned their chore money, or like this money here was Christmas money, this is money that they can spend. So as they spend it at the store, I transfer the money out so that I can cover what they spent. And we usually use the credit card for that. And then the last card, or the last column I have here, is card. So that's our Discover credit card. So as we spend money on the credit card, I put what we spent, again, lined up with the category. And this way I can make sure that I pay off whatever's posted at the end of each week. The last column I have here are the due dates. So when is it due? And like with the mortgage and the car and the truck, I do have the balance, and these actually need to be updated from December. I need to update those. But basically it tells us what day are those bills due. And then I put on there a note if it comes out of the Discover, if the Discover card is paying for that. And then I do have a goal here. So the girls, I'm trying to save up to $1,900. So we'll see how that goes. And this is actually already calculated. I don't need that anymore. So that's just, you know, that's what the template looks like. That's what helps me to do everything. So now let's jump into January's numbers. At the beginning of the month, I budgeted as Ricky's pay. When we first started January, his pay was $22 an hour and then time and a half for overtime. And he ended up getting a raise that second pay. So his old weekly pay was $880, so now it's $924. So you can see that up here. So he's on track to make $4,576 for the month. His overtime, we originally only budgeted 2 weeks worth of overtime, and that again was at the old pay. He's actually has another week of overtime, and possibly if they work tomorrow, they'll actually have another week of overtime. So he's actually, the overtime is looking at $887.70 so far. Myself, I had budgeted basically roughly 20 hours a week, and we have worked, some weeks I've worked more than 20 hours a week. So like last week I had 25, past week, or this week I guess, I had maybe like 21 hours, and then the 20 hours. So I'm looking at $1,634 for the month. Now our cash back, our average cash back is anywhere from $20 to $40. So we're spending anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 roughly on the card, maybe a little less, a little bit more. December was a big spending month. We had our hot water heater go out. It was Christmas, just a lot of that stuff. So we actually got $84 back for cash back for Discover. So that was pretty good. And then we did get the stimulus check. So we were not anticipating that initially. So we're a family of 4. We're under the income limit that people were required to have in order to get the stimulus. So each of us got $600. Basically, like I mentioned, we put money in the girls' savings account. Ricky spent $300 of that. The rest of that went towards, is going towards the truck. So that $1,000 you saw in the savings was from the stimulus check. And then we're just going to estimate $4 for our interest on our bank accounts, on our savings account, because that's what we got last month. So for the month before taxes, we're looking at $9,586. This, again, is a big month. 1, we have an extra paycheck. 2, we had a stimulus check. So obviously this isn't a normal month for us. That's another reason it's really good to budget every single month, because every month could be different, especially if you're someone who works overtime. So you might have weeks where you're working more overtime or less overtime. So it's good to calculate that out. Our first category of spending is paying ourselves first, and that is into our retirement accounts. So my husband has a 401k. We put 6% automatically into his 401k. We put 4% into my Roth. So we have, basically you can see here in blue, so that means that this money has already been put into those accounts. I like to categorize it as blue because that's telling me that it was money saved or invested. It's not spent and gone. So we estimated originally, again, because of Ricky's overtime being less and the pay being less, we thought he'd have about $295 into the 401k, but we're on track for $327. Myself, I'm on track for $64 into my Roth 401k. So that's where we're at. You can see the next 2 paychecks here. Those come out automatically, so you can see they're across the board every single week. The income, these are based on during the week that we got them. So if we received this money between the 8th and the 14th, that's why it was categorized in that week. So I hope that makes sense, if that helps you guys. Giving, we originally didn't plan anything. On the yearly budget, I think I had $50 or $7, and it kind of got changed. So it's actually going to be $117, and this is based on money we've actually already spent on the credit card, so I need to make sure we pay that off from the credit card. We had some friends come into town, so we took them to dinner as well. One of my daughter's friends had a birthday, so we got a birthday present. So that's kind of where that spending is for that. Our next category, our biggest category, are our necessities. So we try to keep our necessities as low as we can. You're going to notice that our personal care is a really high month for us, and I'll go over that in more detail when we get down there. So we do include our taxes when calculating our necessities, and that's just so we can kind of see, are we paying enough taxes? Are we overpaying in taxes? We want to get a little bit of a refund every year, but we don't want a big refund, and we definitely don't want to owe on taxes. So as long as we are still getting maybe $1,000 back, we know we're in a good situation. So as of right now, our taxes are kind of set up automatically with our employers, and they're kind of just, they are what they are, and so far they're in a good spot. So for Arizona, or for federal, we're on track for $86 for the month. Arizona, $118, Medicare, $94, Social Security, $412. Our family life insurance, this is additional life insurance coverage from what our employers give us as a base, including having coverage on our kids. That's $27. And then Ricky's long-term disability insurance, we're looking at $19.28. Now Ricky's in construction, so there is a possibility that he could get injured or even killed on the job. That's why we have these extra insurances in place. And then we have our health insurance for our family, which is $439. This is $87.80 per week. So when we have a 4 paycheck month, this is actually a little bit, it's $87 less, which is nice. Our mortgage, including our property tax, our homeowner's insurance, and our mortgage insurance, is $1,032.65. So you can see out of these, the 8th and the 15th, this is how much we put aside. So now we have that money, like I mentioned, we have it a couple weeks before it's due, and it's sitting in the savings account. And then the week that it's due, we'll put it in the necessities account. And that one is an auto pay that they take out automatically from our checking account. Home maintenance, we had $569. This was to help pay off what we had to use for the hot water heater. The hot water heater in December, it was $1,850. We used $1,500 out of our emergency fund, which we had put aside for our home insurance deductible as well as our car insurance deductible. That's basically what covered it. And then the remaining balance we used. In addition, we did need to buy a new microwave and a few other things that happened with the house. So we had to make sure we still covered that. So we cash flowed it instead of using more of savings. We do not anticipate any more maintenance stuff for the month. So hopefully that's all the spending we do. The next one is groceries. We lowered our groceries. We're trying to lower it back to like $100 a week. So you can see the first week we stayed on budget. Last week we spent $125. This week we have $100. Next week I went ahead and I put it $126 because technically we already spent another $26 over. So we're just going to cover that out of next week's paycheck. So if we can see our pattern, we might realistically be spending closer to $125. But then again, it might be fluctuating between $100 and $125 just because there are some items that we purchased that might last us 2 weeks instead of 1 week. So we'll have to see how the month plays out. So we're looking at $552 for groceries. And we're just taking things back to the basics. Basically, 5 ingredients or less dinners is what we're trying to do. We are fortunate currently. My daughter's schools are providing breakfast and lunch. So we're just covering basically after school snacks and weekend breakfast and lunch and then dinner. So that is helping us save a little bit of money on groceries. Now personal care, like I mentioned, this was a big month for us. It's the new year. So our number one goal for 2021 is to pay off my husband's truck. And my number one goal as far as everything else is just to start getting back on our well-being, our personal care, our health, our fitness, everything. So we had a lot going on. So we started off the year with my daughters and I all went to get haircuts. In addition, I had my hair colored, which cost more. I've actually had a facial done today, and I've had my hair washed and styled since I was going to be at the salon anyway. And then we ordered a bunch of vitamins and supplements and things like that. We're just trying to make sure that we're getting enough nutrients because we're coming to find that we're not getting quite enough nutrients through what we're eating. So we are going to try using some vitamins and supplements. So that wasn't cheap. That was over $200 that we spent on that. I also signed up for a 10-class punch card at a gym, and that was $125. So you can see, we've had big chunks of spending. So for the month, we're looking at $741 for personal care. We should not see this every month. Again, we're just kind of like trying to get some things going. So we'll see what ends up happening next month. Household, we actually did end up spending $37.67. So you can see out of next week's paycheck, I'm going to go ahead and cover that. We purchased like a big Tupperware thing. So now all of our Christmas stuff, including the tree, is in one big box as opposed to a tiny box and then a box for the tree and all this stuff. So we have it all in one box. And then I purchased like 2 organizing things for the pantry. So gradually random stuff. It's hard sometimes when you go to the store, you just buy random stuff. But anyways, we have Ricky's cell phone bill. This will come out of next paycheck, and that's for next month's bill. Again, the mortgage, this is for next month's bill. So electric and solar. So our solar is 81. Electric, we're estimating 58. So we have the 58. Next week, we will have the 81. So we're looking at 139 for the month. And again, this is for next month's bills. We've already paid this. We've already paid January's bills. Water, sewer, trash, we're estimating 59. And again, that's going to come out of next week's paycheck. This week's paycheck, we had the full amount for Ricky's truck payment. So that's in the savings account until that's due on the 6th. If you watch the yearly budget, I mentioned that we were like a month and a half ahead on our car payment. So we're not making the car payment this month. I went ahead and stopped the auto pay. And that way we can put that $440 originally I budgeted it, right? This $449 we're actually going to put towards the truck instead. I'm actually going to fix some of these colors at the end. We're going to make them orange because we have some of this money. We're working with some of this money. I like to color code that way. So the truck and car payment are ones that do come out of the checking account automatically. The electric, solar, water, sewer, trash, that comes out of the checking account automatically. Our cell phone bills, this is charged onto the credit card, and then I make the credit card payment. And again, we're just trying to earn as much cash back as we can. The next category is our gas. We're just gonna estimate $65 a week. So you can see here they're orange. This money is sitting in the checking account. We use the Discover card, and then again, I pay that off. So we're just trying $65 every week, so $325 for the month. So far, that amount seems to be working. Our next bill is our insurance. This goes on the Discover card, so we have that money in savings. It's not due till the 28th, but it's in savings. That's $236.63. That's full coverage for our truck and our car. And then you see here the money that we put into my daughter's savings account from the stimulus check. So these are blue, they're in the savings account. So we put $517 in Arcadia's, $458 into Elsa's, and that way it brought their balance, so now they have $800. So they have basically the $600 from this stimulus plus a little bit, basically $200 from the last stimulus, so they have the $800. Ricky had his $307 that he used out of the stimulus, and then we've actually already used another $43. So again, I want to make sure I cover that on the Discover card, so I have that coming out of next week's paycheck. So now the fun things that we're trying to get done is paying off the truck. So in the yearly budget, we put $2,000. So originally we have been paying $200 extra on our mortgage, and we were going to start paying $100 extra on the car. I basically eliminated that for this month, and I said, you know what, let's put it all towards the truck in addition to that extra money from the stimulus. So our plan is to put $2,000 on the truck, minimum, no matter what. If we can keep on track with my yearly budget, we will have his truck paid off by September. But these are basically our debts that we're going to try to pay off in the next 5 years. And our last category is our fun category. So eating out, we originally were going to try to do $150. We've already almost spent $252. I have some on the credit card I need to pay off, so $102. I think we'll have like $25 left, and that's specifically for this weekend. If we spend money eating out, we're only going to spend $25, and then that's it for the month. Movies, events, we originally budgeted about $65. On the yearly budget, we were only going to do $30. I had changed it when we did the monthly budget. And that, again, like I mentioned, we had our friend come visit, so they went to the trampoline jumping place, and I don't know whatever else is going on, but this is money that's already charged, so $184 for that. We're not doing date night right now. This Amazon Kids was charged. I canceled it, so I'm going to delete that out. PlayStation, I canceled that, so we don't have that bill anymore. Netflix, we were on a one screen subscription. We added the second screen because now our kids do have a TV in their room, and so I want to watch something and they want to watch something, we can't, so we did add it. They said it's an extra $5, so I went ahead and put $6 on here out of the next paycheck, and we'll see what it ends up being. So that's kind of where all the money has gone so far for the last 3 weeks, and that's where the money's projected to go for the next 2 weeks. But yeah, so that's our January's budget so far. I'm going to be trying to get caught back up so that I can have these out for you and we can budget every week together before it happens so you don't see it after the fact. But I'm excited for 2021. Like I said, we're going to crank out. We're going to get Ricky's truck paid off, and we're going to start taking care of ourselves, not just by going to the gym, but like I said, by having vitamins and supplements and just more beauty regimens on my part. I'm working hard. Ricky's working hard. We want to take care of ourselves in that regard as well. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I hope your January budget is looking good. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.